McDonald's has been hit by its first fall in global sales since the start of the pandemic.
It's fast, it's cheap, it's everywhere. For decades, McDonald's has been more than a restaurant. It's been a ritual, a stop after soccer practice, a late-night drive-thru run, a quick bite that feels like comfort food around the world. But what if behind those golden arches was something you were never meant to see? What if that Big Mac, that crispy fry, that innocent Happy Meal came with ingredients, strategies, and hidden consequences that could change the way you look at food forever? Because McDonald's isn't just feeding you, it's shaping how you think, how you spend, even how you feel. Behind the glowing menu boards and smiling mascots is a company that has mastered the art of psychological manipulation, industrial food engineering, and global marketing on a scale unlike anything the world has ever seen. From fries that don't rot, to burgers that stay intact for years, to employees pushed to the edge while billions flow into corporate pockets. The truth is deeper, darker, and far more twisted than most customers realize. And yet, millions still line up every day. Kids still beg for Happy Meals, and we still pretend it's just a harmless treat. But once you hear what's really inside the food, the business, and the strategy, you may never see a drive-thru the same way again. Stick around, because what you're about to learn about McDonald's could flip everything you thought you knew about fast food on its greasy golden head. They're golden, crispy, salty, and addictive. McDonald's fries might be the most iconic side dish on the planet. But what if we told you that the same fries you dip in ketchup today could still be sitting on a shelf next year and look exactly the same? It's not a myth. In fact, one viral experiment showed a McDonald's meal left out for years that barely changed in appearance. The burger dried out, sure, but the fries, they looked exactly the same. No mold, no decay, just golden, lifeless sticks of potato-like substance that time seemed to forget. So what's going on here? McDonald's fries are made with real potatoes, yes, but they're also treated with a cocktail of additives and preservatives before they ever hit the fryer. One key chemical is dimethylpolysiloxane, an anti-foaming agent also found in, you guessed it, silicone products and cosmetics. Then there's TBHQ, a synthetic antioxidant used to preserve oils, which has been linked to potential health risks when consumed in large quantities. On paper, they're safe, but in your body, that's a whole different conversation. And it's not just the chemicals, it's the process. McDonald's fries are partially fried in a factory, frozen, shipped, then refried in the store. That signature texture, engineered, that consistent flavor from Boston to Bangkok, controlled. It's the illusion of fresh food wrapped in science. And yet, we keep eating them. Why? Because they're designed to trigger cravings. Salty, fatty, crispy perfection built to light up the pleasure centers in your brain. One former food scientist even admitted, they're more addictive than some drugs I've studied. But if you think the fries are shocking, just wait until you see what goes into the chicken nuggets. Because those little golden bites, they might just be the strangest things on the menu. They're bite-sized, golden, and endlessly popular, especially with kids. McDonald's Chicken McNuggets have become a worldwide favorite, a menu staple that feels safe, familiar, and comforting. But under that crispy shell is a reality that's far from appetizing. Because what's really inside a McNugget? According to multiple lab tests and exposés, it might be closer to a science experiment than a chicken dish. Let's start with the infamous pink slime image that went viral years ago. While McDonald's claims they no longer use mechanically separated meat, they did admit it was once a part of their production process. That substance, an unrecognizable paste created by grinding bones, cartilage, and leftover scraps, was treated with chemicals to kill bacteria and then reshaped into nuggets. Yum. Even now, McNuggets contain a long list of ingredients you wouldn't expect in a basic chicken recipe. We're talking about TBHQ again, that synthetic preservative also found in varnish and cosmetics. Then there's dimethylpolysiloxane, yes, the same compound from the fries, added to prevent foaming during frying. One medical study warned that high doses of TBHQ in lab animals were linked to tumors, DNA damage, and liver enlargement. While the small amounts used in food are approved, no one is talking about the long-term effects of eating this stuff weekly for years. Even more concerning, some former employees have reported frozen nuggets arriving at the store already battered and shaped, then dumped straight into fryers. It felt like cooking frozen Play-Doh, one said. You stop thinking of it as food after a while. But here's the kicker. McDonald's has never positioned nuggets as health food. Yet the real scandal isn't just what they're made of. It's how carefully the company controls your perception of them. Because if you think the nuggets are strange, Wait until you see what they've done to the burgers. It's the centerpiece of the McDonald's experience. The Big Mac, the Quarter Pounder, the double cheeseburger dripping with nostalgia and melted cheese. McDonald's has built its empire on burgers, and while they proudly claim 100% pure beef, the journey from cow to patty is anything but simple. What you're actually biting into isn't just meat, it's the result of industrial processing, chemical treatment, and food preservation at a scale most people never imagine. Let's start with the supply chain. McDonald's sources its beef from massive processing plants where meat from multiple cows can be combined into a single patty. These are then frozen, stored, and shipped around the world. During earlier investigations in the 2010s, reports revealed that some McDonald's beef suppliers used ammonia-treated meat trimmings, what became known to the public as pink slime. Though McDonald's has since moved away from that particular process, it raised a serious question. How far should fast food go to preserve cost and shelf life? And the preservatives haven't disappeared. One viral experiment left a McDonald's burger sitting on a shelf for over a decade, with no mold, no rot, and barely a whiff of decay. Why? Experts believe it's due to the burger's low moisture content, small size, and chemical stability, a perfect recipe for something that looks like food but behaves like plastic. Even the buns are part of the act. They're designed to be soft, sweet, and uniform, but include conditioners, sugars, and preservatives that keep them fresh for weeks in storage. The entire sandwich is engineered for consistency, speed, and visual appeal, not necessarily for your body. And yet these burgers remain bestsellers. The question isn't, do they taste good? The real question is, how are we being trained to crave them, despite what's inside? Because the next layer of this story isn't about the food, it's about your mind. Up next, how McDonald's uses psychology to control your choices before you even speak a word at the counter. Before you even step up to the counter or pull up to the drive-thru speaker, McDonald's already knows what you're likely to order. Not because they're guessing, because they've engineered the experience to guide your decision. The colors, the layout, the prices, even the names of the menu items. They're all part of a carefully crafted psychological game designed to increase sales, maximize speed, and steer you toward higher profit choices. Take the classic color scheme, red and yellow. These colors aren't just cheerful, they're proven to stimulate appetite and create a sense of urgency. Fast food chains have used them for decades because they trigger hunger, even when you're not that hungry. The menu boards, they're not just lists, they're visual maps with strategically placed combo meals, high-margin items, and limited-time offers designed to feel exclusive and scarce. That's not an accident, it's behavioral economics in action. And then there's anchoring. Ever wonder why you'll see a supersized meal next to a regular one? That's intentional. The overpriced large item makes the regular meal look like a bargain, pushing you to spend more without realizing it. One former McDonald's marketing executive even admitted, "We don't just sell food, we sell impulse disguised as choice." Even the naming of items matters. Extra value meals sound like you're saving money, even if buying a la carte would be cheaper. And Happy Meals don't just appeal to kids. They tap into positive emotional associations that follow you into adulthood. It's not evil, it's genius, but it blurs the line between free will and guided behavior. You think you're making a personal choice, when in reality your choices were pre-designed before you even walked in. But if you think customer manipulation is clever, just wait until you hear what's happening behind the counter. Because the next layer of McDonald's isn't about what you're buying, it's about who's serving it and the pressure they face every day. To the outside world, McDonald's looks like a well-oiled machine, clean uniforms, upbeat service, and food that arrives within minutes. But behind that polished front counter, employees tell a very different story, one filled with high-pressure shifts, understaffed chaos, and a system that often values speed over sanity. Former workers from all over the world have shared what it's really like to work inside the Golden Arches. Many describe being thrown into intense lunch rushes with barely any training, expected to memorize entire systems while juggling fryers, timers, customer service, and mobile orders. One ex-employee described it as like trying to land a plane while someone screams at you about ketchup. And the pressure? It's relentless. Drive-through timers track every second. Managers are pushed to meet service quotas. Some staff say they were told to skip breaks just to keep up. Others admitted to cutting corners on cleaning or food handling. Not out of laziness, but pure exhaustion. A viral Reddit confession revealed workers sometimes kept food under heat lamps far longer than allowed, just to avoid falling behind. Then there's the pay. While McDonald's touts job creation, many employees report bare minimum wages, limited benefits, and unpredictable scheduling that makes financial stability almost impossible. Some say they were scheduled for split shifts, forced to clock out for unpaid hours between lunch and dinner rushes, then clock back in later just to squeeze every drop of labor at the lowest cost. And let's not forget emotional burnout. Fast food workers deal with rude customers, intense pace, and little support, all while smiling through every "where's my fries" meltdown. One worker said, "You're expected to act like a robot, but nobody asks how you're holding up." But while individual employees struggle, the company itself continues to grow. Which raises the next question: who's really getting rich in this system? Because the money coming in from your $4 burger isn't just feeding the business, it's building empires. You might think that when you buy a Big Mac, your money goes straight to the local franchise owner. But in the world of McDonald's, the flow of money is a lot more complex and a lot more one-sided. Because while individual franchisees often struggle to stay afloat, McDonald's corporate is pulling in billions, not from burgers, but from something far more powerful: real estate. That's right. McDonald's is less a restaurant company and more a real estate empire. The corporation owns the land beneath many of its locations, leasing it to franchisees who pay rent and a percentage of their sales. In many cases, store owners pay as much as 10 to 15% of their revenues straight back to corporate before paying staff, buying ingredients, or covering local taxes. One longtime franchisee confessed, "You're working non-stop just to break even, and if you fall behind, they can pull your agreement and resell your store to someone else." Meanwhile, McDonald's reports record-breaking global revenue year after year. In 2023 alone, the company made over $8 billion in net income, despite inflation and global economic uncertainty. And it's not just real estate. Prices on the menu have steadily climbed, up to 40% in some regions over the past decade, while many employees are still making near minimum wage. The gap between what you pay and what workers earn has never been wider. Corporate shareholders, top executives, and global investors continue to cash in on a machine that never sleeps. One finance reporter put it bluntly: "It's the most efficient profit extraction system fast food has ever created." But here's the twist. This same system that's squeezing profits from every corner is also a marvel of global coordination. Despite the controversy, McDonald's has achieved something no other food brand has: consistency, speed, and reach on a global scale. So is there any good in this story? Up next, we dive into the surprising truth: what McDonald's actually gets right and why millions still love it. Let's be honest. If McDonald's was all bad, it wouldn't be feeding 70 million people every single day. For all its controversies and corporate tactics, McDonald's has also revolutionized the way the world eats. And in some ways, that's worth acknowledging. Because when it comes to speed, logistics, and sheer operational power, McDonald's is in a league of its own. No matter where you go, Tokyo, Paris, New York, or Nairobi, a Big Mac is a Big Mac. That consistency is no accident. McDonald's built one of the most sophisticated supply chains in the world, coordinating with thousands of farmers, factories, and distributors to deliver nearly identical products across more than 100 countries. They didn't just build a restaurant, they built a global food infrastructure. And there's more. When it comes to efficiency, McDonald's has pioneered kitchen automation, digital ordering kiosks, app-based loyalty programs, and even AI-driven drive-thru testing. In some locations, they're using robots to flip burgers and baristas powered by algorithms. Like it or not, they're pushing the industry forward. Then there's the Ronald McDonald House Charities, one of the most impactful nonprofit efforts tied to any fast food chain. Since 1974, it has provided housing, support, and comfort to families of children undergoing medical treatment. That's not a marketing gimmick. That's real impact. McDonald's has also tried, at times, to evolve with growing public pressure. They've introduced apple slices, salads, albeit temporarily, and items labeled fresh, grilled, or plant-based. They've made commitments, however slow, toward reducing plastic waste and improving sourcing transparency. But here's the thing: even with these improvements, the core menu hasn't changed much. The fries are still salty, the burgers are still loaded, the portions are still built to keep you coming back for more. Which leads us to the next layer: what this food actually does to your body over time. Because no matter how efficient or charitable the system may be, the long-term effects of eating McDonald's regularly might be more damaging than most people realize. It's fast, it's cheap, it's everywhere. But what happens when fast food isn't just a treat, but a habit? The truth is, McDonald's meals are designed for flavor, not nourishment. And while the occasional indulgence won't destroy your health, The long-term consequences of eating this stuff regularly, they can be brutal. Let's break it down. A single Big Mac meal with fries and a soda can hit over 1,300 calories, nearly a full day's worth for some people. That same meal contains more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium, well above what most health experts recommend in a single sitting. Add in the saturated fats, refined carbs, artificial preservatives, and sugar-laden drinks, and you're looking at a perfect recipe for weight gain, high blood pressure, insulin resistance, and heart disease. And that's not just theory, it's been documented. In the documentary Super Size Me, filmmaker Morgan Spurlock ate only McDonald's for 30 days and saw his liver function deteriorate, his cholesterol spike, and his mood tank. Doctors were stunned at how quickly his body reacted. And while that was an extreme case, millions of people unknowingly live a milder version of that experiment every single year. The real danger isn't just